Let's get straight into it. Have you considered that you aren't really stuck in your career because of reasons out there, but instead, maybe you're stuck because of reasons in here, your mind? You're stuck because you haven't let yourself see the truth. You're lying to yourself. You've been caught in a career loop and you're just too close to the problem. You'll know if you ask yourself things like, should I stay or should I go? Should I quit or should I plug on? Is this burnout or is this just not the right place for me anymore? Do I push through or is it time to make a new move? Am I the problem or is it just this environment? Why does something that looks so good on paper feel so terrible? If these questions sound familiar, this episode's for you. It may seem like you're always thinking about it, but guess what? You don't need more time to think. You need to see your situation clearly, to shift your perspective, to break it down, to get objectivity. Not the overthinking, not the spiraling, not spinning in confusion. So today, we'll walk through a live career self-audit. So by the time this episode ends, you're not just thinking about your career. You're actually closer to a decision. Welcome to the Bold Life School, the show that empowers you to elevate your life and to step into your full potential. I'm your host, Jameson, and this is where ambition meets authenticity, where you'll find the tools and inspiration to grow, evolve, and thrive. Each week, we dive into powerful topics that challenge the status quo, whether it's to break through limiting beliefs, navigate life's transitions, or embrace the bold moves that push you beyond your comfort zone. Now let's get into today's episode. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is set the frame. Let's ground this. This isn't about making some rash decision to quit your job and move to Bali. It sounds great, but this is just about simple, honest clarity. Most women are not stuck because they lack options. If anything, there are so many options that it's hard to pin down what is the right next step for me. Now, we get stuck because we're caught up in thinking about all the peripheral stuff, what we should be doing, what's practical, what we've worked hard for already, what's the best for everyone else but us. And we fool ourselves. We avoid the truth we already sense underneath the shoulds, the coulds, and the must-dos. We've been trained not to trust ourselves, not to trust our instincts. But it is your intuition, those gut instincts, your inner knowing, that's actually one of your strongest assets if you use it. And if you've fallen out of practice trusting yourself, it's very hard to get clear. So this self-audit is about clarity. Step 1, let's do a reality check. So grab a pen or just answer this honestly in your head. You may want to come back and revisit these questions, and I'll put those in the show notes for you. So if nothing changed in your career, your lifestyle, your situation for the next 5 years, how would you feel about being in the exact same spot? Same place of work, same hours, same environment, same responsibilities, same people, same burdens, you get it. So I'm not asking you what you think you should feel in 5 years. Not what looks good on paper, not what feels practical or responsible. Really, how would you actually feel? In your gut, in your body, in your emotional state. And this can be very hard to pin down. What may come up first is a vague answer. I don't know, or maybe not so great, so. But don't accept those. You have to go deeper. In 5 years, if things didn't change for you, would you be calm, content, or relieved? Neutral? Would you feel totally drained or trapped? Resentful? Bored? frustrated with others or frustrated with yourself? How does it feel in your being when you think about staying in place? This question gives you some clarity on your current reality because your answer tells you one thing. Is your current path sustainable, or is it just tolerable? Are you energized, or are you slowly or quickly depleting yourself? Is there something about your current situation that just drains you? Are you living, or are you enduring what you think you have to go through? And if your first instinct is to say, I don't know, pause. I don't know is not an answer. You do know. You just haven't slowed down long enough to hear your inner truth. So take that pause, slow down, close your eyes, ask yourself, feel it in your body. How would you feel in 5 years if nothing changes? That will tell you a lot if you're honest. Step 2, let's do the energy audit. So let's take a look at your career energy, because burnout isn't always about workload. It's about what drains you versus what fuels you, what gives you energy and life. So ask yourself, what's draining me right now? And be specific. Is it the type of work itself that you do? Is it the people there or the culture? Is it just the pace? Maybe you enjoy the work, but not so much of it. Is it the lack of growth? Are you feeling stagnant? Or is it specific projects or specific tasks required of you that you just would rather not do? When you're done with what drains you, flip it and ask, what still gives me energy? Even if it's small. Is it certain types of conversations or interactions? Is it solving specific problems? Is it leading? Is it independent, creative work? Is it the people? Is it the challenge that you do like? None of the answers are inherently bad or negative. It depends on how they affect you and your energy, your motivation for life, your life force. And what makes it tough to figure out when you're thinking about the next career move is that life and jobs, it's not always black and white. You may love some parts of your career, but feel completely misaligned in a few key areas. And that may make it feel like a deal breaker. I always say that, it's 5% of the population or 5% of the job or the role that is poisonous. And if you let it, that 5% poison compared to 95% bliss can destroy your productivity. It can destroy your sense of well-being. So not only are you trying to consider the positives and negatives, but you have to determine the weight of those positives and negatives. Sometimes a 5% negative aspect about a job can overtake all of those 95% positives. Sometimes it only takes 5 to put you over the edge, but that too is solvable. Maybe you usually have energy for most of it, but you're simply in a season where you've just been running too hard for too long and you need a break. This is burnout. But what if you're overwhelmed or stressed out, also ready for some slight changes, but you don't want to shake up your entire life? This is where it gets tricky. And that's why we have such a difficult time coming to decisions about our future. Now, if nothing in your current environment energizes you anymore, that's not just burnout. That's a different career signal that you may be outgrowing your current life. There are so many factors involved in career choice and life direction choice. Getting back to the heart of it, your energy is so key because it can tell you a lot. What is depleting your life energy versus feeding your life energy? When you look at the big picture, your energy signals how you really feel in your present situation. Thinking about the energy how it affects you, you get one step closer to the truth. Because the truth is not out there, it's inside you. You just need to uncover it. All right, so step 3, let's do a growth check. So now ask yourself, in my current path, my situation, am I still growing? Or am I just maintaining? And do I like what I'm maintaining? Am I settling or am I building toward future me? Because high performers don't take stagnation very well. Always climbing, looking to learn, looking to grow, looking to move into the next level. So look at your current role. Are you being stretched? Are you learning anything new? Or is it just autopilot mode? Are you expanding your capabilities? Are you doing personal or professional development to get better at what you do? And if not, why not? Are you moving towards specific career goals? Or, like many people, do you not even have any specific career goals? Or are you just repeating the same work, coasting on competence, feeling intellectually understimulated? Maybe you're focusing on work you think you have to do versus the work that you really want to do. Well, if you've mastered your environment and there's no next level available to you that excites you, you don't see a path moving you closer to where you want to be and who you want to be in 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. You being restless is not a problem. It's a response. It is a signal. It deserves a gut check. Your mind thrives when it's stimulated, challenged, expanded, but it also feels safe when you do nothing, when you tread water. So if your pulse feels permanently flat, it may be time to shake things up. So where do you want to go? Or where do you want to grow? And when you ask yourself, do a gut check. See how it feels in your body. And this is where I want you to zoom out for a second. One thing I do periodically, and I want you to try this, is look at your life from a bird's eye view in chapters. This is an opportunity to audit your career and life progress outside of the myopic view that you may have today. It's not just about where you are now, but where you've been and how you're progressing now in relation to that. So let's go in 5-year increments back into the past. We'll start with 5 years ago. Where were you living? What were you working toward at the time? What did you accomplish between then and now in those last 5 years? 5 years ago, what was stretching you? What were you growing into? What were your goals then? And did you accomplish them? What steps changed you or influenced you? What were the main drivers of your successes or maybe your mistakes? And do you feel positive about the directional patterns that you see, the growth that you've accomplished or not? And if not, what would you do differently starting today? Notice what happens. I'm going to give you an example of a quick audit of mine from the last 5 years. So for me, it is 2026. 5 years ago was 2021. We were still in the thick of COVID. I had just moved from Bay Area to the desert and was considering a career change in my corporate life. I don't know that I was burnout then. I probably thought I was. But actually, I was feeling misaligned with some aspects of the job. This was really difficult because there were so many elements about that specific role, about the company, about where I saw my career trajectory, that it was confusing. I didn't feel like I was moving at the time, more like I was attending a lot of meetings, and the magic wasn't happening for some reason. This was a scenario where there was about 5% poison and 95% bliss, but that 5% poison started getting to me. So I was working with a coach, And at the time, I decided to apply for just one job at a new company. Well, I got the job, made a big move again, and started this new role focusing on some of the aspects that I wanted to do more of, the strategic and creative aspects of education technology. And that was the part I loved most about my career path. New challenges, new growth patterns. So I had identified misalignment coupled with an opportunity. And then I took this big leap of faith to jump into the next chapter. Sometimes it doesn't happen so serendipitously. And this situation was complex. I could see that I was misaligned, I was plateauing in some actions, and I was growing beyond this role with the desire to focus on a more narrow path. Fast forward to today, 5 years, and I still have that thriving career. I do experience burnout from time to time because I work in a very lean environment, but I felt the call to express passions and talents beyond what my role supports. I was not outgrowing my job, though. I just felt like there were some parts that I want to grow beyond it. So I'd expanded into strategic advisement, coaching, podcasting, writing, sort of all of my passions and what I would call my highest callings. So the point here is that we don't always have to take the big leap. It's not always easy to sift through your feelings about a career or, a more general situation in your life, but you don't have to blow up everything that you've built. We have options. We can do whatever we want. So this was just my 5 years. But over the course of those years, I've experienced feeling burnout, plateaued, probably needing some boundary improvements, misalignment in a few key areas, and then growing beyond or splitting off into parallel paths at times. It reminds me that how much can change in a relatively short period of time. Just by stepping back, by looking back, I can see that I'm glad I made those decisions to listen to my inner self, the call for change, to make those tweaks, the bold leaps, and even small pivots. Now, what if I had ignored all those energy signals over the last 5 years? What if I'd done nothing to change my path in the last 5 years? That path may have been fine, sure, it would have been okay, but would it have been great? Would I be halfway to where I am now in terms of feeling greater purpose, meaning, fulfillment, creativity, and alignment in my career? I don't think so. So when you look at your life right now, it's easy to feel like you're stuck in the current situation, that things never change, right? It feels so permanent, but it is not. You can basically create any future for yourself by taking those small steps, some big steps, some new steps, some bold steps. Sometimes it feels like, oh, this is just my life. But if you do the work to uncover your inner truths, it may shed some light on your life, on how far you've really come or how little growth or movement you've made. Maybe you can look back at the 5 years and realize, I need a wake-up call. I need a kick in the pants. For me, it's always been important to live a life of variety and adventure. So I didn't want one plan that would continue forever into retirement. And in this day and age, it's also not like it was 50 years ago, when you would have one job at one company, one pension. And of course, you had to be a man too, right? But life is meant to allow for many chapters. And I think that if you are living a long, predictable storyline, that may be reasons you feel stuck. So when I look back, I want to see chapters, pivots, risks, reinvention, excitement about the future. When you do this exercise, it expands your thinking. It reminds you you're not as stuck as you think. You have choices, boo. And the life that you have is far more flexible than you're acting like it is. So my piece of homework for you is to do the 5-year audit for yourself. Again, the sample questions are in the show notes. If you really want to blow your own mind, keep going back by 5-year increments. I love doing this. What was I doing 10 years ago? How about 15 years ago? 20 years ago? To see just how really far you've grown, how exciting your life has been or not, how you've moved or not moved, how you've gotten closer to the life you want versus the life you have. Do this assessment. Get truthful with yourself. And when you begin to draw some conclusions about yourself, your growth, your path, your life, your future, the most important thing is that you like what you find. If you're happy with your reasons and you like it, I love it. But if you don't, let's get you where you want to be. Because life is meant to be lived, and I want you to have your best next chapter, whatever that is. So, step 4 is the truth you've been avoiding. Now that you've zoomed out, you've thought about your life, your choices over time, your career trajectory, let's go back in to the biggest source of truth, your inner knowing, your instincts, your intuition. Answer this without filtering. What do I already know but haven't admitted yet? What am I avoiding? What am I lying to myself about? This is where clarity sharpens with truth because the answers are there. It sounds like, I know this is not it for me anymore. I know this must change. I know I've outgrown this. I know I don't want this type of misalignment long term. I know I'm ready for more. So you don't need more information, more time to stew in complex situations and confusion. You need to give yourself permission to acknowledge the truth about what you already feel, what you already know. So step 5, the fear layer. Let's separate truth, your truth, from the fear. Ask yourself, what is actually holding me here? What is keeping me from the life that I want? So at this point, hopefully you have identified what are some gap areas between where you've been, where you wanted to go, and where you are now. And what is holding you back is what the fear layer is about. Is it financial security? There's too much risk? Is it a limited view of who you are or what you think you can do? Is it a fear of making the wrong move? This one is popular with perfectionists. Is it fear of starting over, of beginning again, of quote unquote losing all of the work that you've done in one direction thus far? Or is it fear of disappointing others or disappointing yourself? The reasons matter because many women think they're unclear about what they want. Well, they're actually clear, but they're just afraid. So they stew in indecision, excuses, lies, or someday I will. So now we're at the decision line. Let's bring it all together based on everything you just answered in this quick audit. Which direction feels more true to you? Not easier, not safer, more true. Check your gut. Is it staying and fully recommitting? Maybe it's changing your attitude. Or is it moving towards something totally different or somewhere in between? Even if it's not fully formed yet, you don't need a complete plan to start making changes. You just need to get to a decision about one thing to change, to take one step, to make something happen, to shift you into future you. And it's okay if that changes and morphs along the way. So here is where most women stop. They get this clarity, where they want to go, what needs to change. They make a decision and then they go right back into thinking, second guessing, delaying, ping-ponging back and forth, acting like they don't know, because knowing the truth it's not the same as acting on it. And this is where an action plan comes into play. I've created a 7-day challenge that is coming up. It's called Burnout to Breakthrough. And making decisions is what it's all about. Because this isn't just about asking better questions. It's about getting clear on your specific burnout pattern. The course will help understanding what's actually driving your situation. And it helps to build a structured path forward, specifically customized to you, given your specific needs, desires, pain points, challenges, etc. Inside the challenge, we go deeper than we did today. We turn this awareness into a clear, confident decision for your career or lifestyle that you can actually act on. And I walk alongside you in the process. It's not face-to-face or Zoom call-based, but you do get 24/7 access to message me specifically for advisement, clarity, input, and support as you build towards your decision. If this brought something up for you, you're ready for the next step. Let's get going. The link for the challenge as well as the 5-year audit questions are in the show notes. If you take nothing else from today, take this. You're not stuck because you're incapable of seeing what you need to do. Your life can change by leaps and bounds by so much in the course of 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. If you feel stuck, it may be because you're not being truthful with yourself. You're spinning. And now you're a little bit clearer. And clarity is where transformation begins. I'll see you next week. If you enjoyed today's episode, head over to theboldlife.coach for more resources, join our community, and start living your boldest life today.